Hey, welcome back to Rad Repairs. Today I've got a PS2 Slim. I got this from a local resale shop called Grumpy Bob's Emporium in Maryville, Illinois. They had a sale of their broken devices, or less than perfect, they may have described them as, and they were asking $5 for every game system they had that didn't work very well. So this was in the stack of consoles that they had, and they had a price tag of $4.99 on it, not $9.99 like this is. And it says the power port doesn't work. Well, to you and me, that probably sounds like cold solder joints. So, check it out. Plug it in, no power, wiggle the cable around, see the light flickering on and off there. Might be able to get it. But yeah, that looks like cold solder joint to me. There we go. Let it go, light turns off. So, let's open it up and see what we find. Flip it over to the back. You're gonna find 6 tabs to take out. Small flathead screwdriver ought to do it. Switch back to our Phillips head here. And take out the 6 screws. We also need to cut the sticker through the middle here. We'll just use our flathead. And it should just lift off on the left side. There we go. And the right side's always a little bit trickier. There is a clip on the right that you kind of have to wiggle free. There we go. And we got some cobwebs. So it looks like we'll be cleaning this up too. So to get the board out, there's only one screw to do it. This Phillips head down here. There is a black plug there. It didn't look like it gave me any trouble. And then you want to take out this little board on the right. This is the guide post, I guess you'd call it. Sometimes that gets stuck when you try to pull these out. But this one came off pretty good. All right, let's take a look at our solder joints and see what we got. Oh yeah, you can see the whole thing wiggling when I move it. Right here in this big one. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll use some flux, get our solder prepared. I'm probably not even going to use any new solder. I'm just going to use what's there. But we'll see what happens. Give this a little bit of pressure here. We want this to be nice and secure. You can see that pad's lifting all around, which is what part of the problem. Yeah, it's definitely trying to pull that pad up. See, that's our problem right there. We're gonna have to get this shielding off. Looks like we're gonna have to remove the disk drive as well as these 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. So it looks like you kind of see this point here are in these traces, in this trace here that leads here, and here, and here. So we'd probably be safe to solder this with a wire anywhere inside of here. We might do this one because it's nice and shiny solder, so might be able to get a good contact with that. So I think that's going to be our best bet. So we're going to use some more solder wick and see if we can't get this power plug loose. Alright, so that's where all that solder was feeding to. Okay, so I went off camera and I took apart another PS2 Slim I have. And this one has a different issue where it doesn't get audio and it basically just doesn't boot. The thing is that it has a good power, and I can confirm. You plug it in, you get the display light on the board, so we know this one has good power. So I thought, well, I'm not having any luck soldering in a wire to complete where we've lost our pad. So I thought I would check continuity, and you can see that where I was soldering to has good continuity. So not entirely sure why mine wasn't working. So I think I know what's going on. You can see in the back of here that the centerpiece runs parallel along with probably the two ground contacts. And through the course of me soldering, I think I've put so much that it actually leaked down in here and then bridged the gap between these two points and this point on this other board. And I bet you that's what we're about to see. I'm going to try to take out the power plug in this one. We're going to swap it over to this one and then do our wire solder again and see if that solves the issue. So since we know this one's still good and did not have that problem yet, let's try this one. Let's check our continuity. Continuity looks good. Let's try our power. Well, look at there. Sweet. Pretty sturdy because I put quite a bit of solder in these ground ports here. It doesn't seem like it's really going anywhere. And this is wide enough. What we'll do is we'll bend this down just a little bit, and that should keep it from wiggling. Although it's pretty sturdy right now. All right, we've got our power port secured back in there. Continuity is good to go. So now we need to put this back together, but before we do that, let's clean it up. This is pretty gross. It's got a lot of dirt and junk in there. All right, that looks a lot better. Now for the top. So we've got to get this sticker off. I got it wet. I like to use my very fancy tool, a Lego. See if I can get it off. Alright, I got off the majority. Just dry that up a little bit. Hit that with some Goo Gun. We'll let that sit for a minute. Alright, we'll see if we can get a little bit more of this off. All right, that's looking a lot better. I think we're ready to put everything back together. All right, we're all back together. One last function check, see how we did. There you go. Looking great. Well, this was a fun one. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to like and share it. Hit that subscribe button for me. I'll see you next time on Rad Repairs.